Korea, Lee, her second shot at the par 5 18th.
She's just making the turn, looking to take advantage of the easiest hole on the course. And will she ever?
The members know this is a par 4, par 5 for the tournament, and she would make eagle. Pressel looking at some of the action from earlier. Paraguay's Sofia Garcia for birdie at 15.
5 birdies on her card already to this point. Rolls that one in, curls it in around the hole.
This is Cassie Porter, a rookie from Australia at the 15th.
From long range, giving it plenty of pace.
Hole got in the way. He's had a nice rookie season. The veteran from Korea, Mi-hyung Lee at the 14th.
4 birdies and an eagle to this point already, taking advantage of just great scoring conditions out there today.
Well, let's look at some of Celine's highlights today. There were a lot of them. This was at the 6th.
Beautiful roll right there, never left the center of the hole.
And she's got a chance here to get it back to even.
And when you see all those low scores out there this morning, you feel like being over par. You got to fight your way back.
As an LPGA member, after a few misses earlier in the season, that was at the ShopRite.
Can sometimes be just enough to settle you down. Miss a few cuts, you feeling stressed. Sometimes it just takes.
She is absolutely one to watch this week, as she is every week.
A little bit thin is always better.
As you go down the hill to the par 4 at 12th, that's where we find Davey Weber.
Found herself on a little bit of an upslope. It is downhill for the first half of this shot, then it goes back uphill towards the hole. She's already stood over it once, but felt uncomfortable, so backed off and jumped back in again.
Are these EY twins any fun? Bursting onto the LPGA Tour. Aki's contended a couple of times. Chisato got the win down in Mexico.
Was a really well played hole in general, so absolutely deserved that birdie.
It's a brilliant tee shot from Carolina Lopez Jacara at the 11th. At this. Go Deeks.
Had a chance at the US Women's Open, but hasn't quite had it today. This is a wedge. Yeah, again. But that was well played. It is just a little bit. I'd say maybe about 5 yards worth of wind at the moment. This is a nice smooth 9-iron for Chisato on this hole. They're playing 141.
We'll see a slight helicopter finish there, trying to hold the club face open through the shot, get it to fall to the right.
How much is it helping on this downhill shot? She's just going to hit a little easy 9.
She didn't look like she committed to that one very well there.
Gabby Ruffles at the par 3 15th.
Predominantly players today have come up short on this hole. That's where we've seen a lot of players putt from. Hole location all the way in the back today. That one got a nice hop forward, though. Well judged.
On the stimp meter, Morgan, right now?
Yeah, definitely have some pace to them. Kind of looked like that was where she was playing it the whole time, just to break back towards the back of the green like she expected it to. And that one looked like a good roll, just wiggled left at the very end.
Yeah, just about hole high right. Some right to left break in this putt.
Number 5 in the world at the moment. Megan Kang trying to get under par.
Kate on going with just a wedge. And I think we saw the ball sitting down nicely in the morning.
Just an incredibly important award all the way around. Takeda, tough day.
It
And we don't say that very often.
Ball striking.
Her location near the front, but I don't see this being a problem for her.
Yeah, good smooth swing. Just trying to get it to fall right. Nicely done.
Kaylee McGinty. This is a birdie putt at the 13th. You do wonder what you said earlier. What could one cut made mean? Boutier second at 12.
It's from 71, bringing it in low.
She's a tremendous ball striker.
So 8 under par leads the way. And this is Hejin Choi, who contended at Erin Hills. And a nice start for Hejin. Sweltering heat and humidity in Mexico 3 weeks ago, then went to Erin Hills. It was about half the temperature as the heat index. To the par 5, 14th. Davey Weber second.
Hole location. Tough hole location today on the top of the crest of a hill. Very well done.
So even with this short shot, really allowing for some potentially hit and release. Kind of like that.
Oh my gosh, showing off why she's the best iron player, one of the best iron players on tour.
Here's the comebacker for Mooney He.
Those are not a favorite of a right-hander there. Outside the hole left from about 4 feet, but solid putt for Mooney there.
Celine Boutier has already hit, and she is just on the left side of the green. Can't tell if she's off or on. But this is a high 6-iron for Lynn, trying to draw it towards the hole.
It should set up well to her eye. She does like to move it quite a bit from right to left.
Jody Ewart shot off at the 14th.
I mentioned that whole location perched on the top. That is really nice there. It's only a small shelf.
With a 5-iron in her hand, Grant. Really nicely struck. Little breeze hurting from the right.
She just has such a neutral swing path. There's very little movement to her ball.
Weber for birdie. Really nice. Shot 62, contended all week. It's a great showing. Here is the second of the par 5 18th for the Atlanta, Georgia native, Jenny Bay. You mentioned it. She contended 3 weeks ago in Mexico. Well, you mentioned it. Jenny Bay may have gotten a bit of an unfortunate break. Let's see if she can roll it in anyway.
Yeah, I was interested to see this hole location over here. Sometimes this is the Sunday hole location. It's the one we had last year.
Remember, Lexi had a pitch shot that hung on the edge. It would have won the tournament for Lexi.
But still, she can control the speed well.
I may or may not be a little familiar. Karen, I was going to say, I may or may not be somewhat familiar with that left penalty area. I have found it in my day. Short-sided, trying to get some height on it. Needed to go with the really big high flop shot in order to get that close.
Is presented by Progressive Insurance.
Let's see if Jody can dial in the distance control here. A little bit of a pull.
Carolina Lopez Jacara played her first ever event at the U.S. Women's Open. Made the cut. And here she is again.
And she's got 200 yards. Ideally play this a little bit to the middle of the green, and this is on a great line for that with a bit of draw. Good looking shot.
Yeah, nice shot there. It's interesting. Celine split with her long.
And I think to get this close, she's going to have to pitch it into the little upslope in front of the green. Oh, that was about a yard too short. She actually had to land that on the green.
Birdie putt, a long one for Akie, EY.
And that backstroke was almost hip high there to that putt. What a stroke.
Needed to go a little farther, maybe, to go in. What a putt from Akie.
There aren't many putts of that length on this whole golf course. And putting greens not really big enough to practice one that length either.
It's almost end zone to end zone. Boutier, brilliant couple of shots at 14. This for eagle.
Just outside the left with this putt here. You could be aggressive with it up the hill. Vamos.
Vamos? Why not? How about that? This was just a moment ago. The French Canadian, Modemi LeBlanc.
Trying to punch cut something under that tree. Look at this shot. Wow.
Très bien.
You could sit there all day at night.
It just looks like there's nothing much to the right of it or behind it when you're standing on this tee, so that's why players are erring on the side of left of this one.
That on one of the most aggressive lines we've seen. Frustrating.
Modemi LeBlanc for eagle at the 18th. Yeah, she turned her putting around a couple of years ago on the Epson Tour. It brought her back to the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, this year she has switched putters a couple times. This back to her old trusty putter. Grip. Kind of definitely made some adjustments to try and improve her putting this season, and at times has had some success and just a bit of a streaky putter. It's going to be slow as well.
Okay.
All's well that ends well right there, Grant. Excellent stroke. Good putting can make up for a lot.
Tap in birdie. Hit on you.
She, if anything, fades the ball a little bit, so I was going to say, take dead aim. This would fit her eye.
Check out this awkward shot at 16 for Pauline Rousseau-Bouchard.
So quick from over there. Went with the blade. What a choice.
Aditi, 2 over through her first 8. And could have gotten it back to even. Mom Mash is here from India. Her dad, Ashok, is usually on the bag for her, but Mash gets to come over. Carolina Lopez Chikara. I mean, they're just going in from everywhere.
Yeah, she has tremendous confidence with that club.
Even though she's only got 114, I'm not sure that hers will get high enough to be affected by that wind. This is well played.
Par 5 14th. Stacey Lewis playing with Gabby Lopez. Wonder if Somi Lee has ever heard the Hogs called so much. A couple of Razorbacks there with Somi.
I mean, I didn't have quite the same experience as in college, but I did, you know, have my grandparents and travel with my grandparents, and they were very helpful for me in my travels early on tour.
Ralph actually has a decent lie and a shot to the hole. Going at it with a 5 iron, which sounded solidly struck in a good line. Just a matter of how it hits and releases.
Very nicely, but stay within striking distance today.
Yeah, there's something about those early mornings, and a little bit of dew on the ground, and it just feels easier to score on as well.
There was originally some rain in the forecast tomorrow. She has a very simple and efficient golf swing. Not a lot of excess movement, especially with her lower body. She's not a very tall player, but really makes the most of her golf swing.
All right, up at the 18th. Third shot for Davey Weber. Easily reachable if you hit a good tee shot. If you don't, she went to Mexico knowing she had to win to get in to Erin Hills and gave herself a chance. Wound up finishing fourth. This is Akie at the 15th.
Just off the putting surface. Right to left break. Well, it ended up being fairly straight, but good speed.
First player in the history of the LPGA Tour to shoot 2 rounds of 62 or lower in the same week. That was in Thailand. To Kay's point earlier about how explosive Akie. This is Kaylee McGinty, her third at the par 5 18th.
Not the best angle from here. Hit it into the upslope, try and get some cut spin, and does that beautifully.
Only the speed, I would think, Morgan.
Get it close enough to the hole to let her know what it's doing, but didn't need it.
It's Kaylee McGinty for a closing birdie and a 66. And she hadn't broken 70 until the second round last week at the ShopRite. 65, which is 6 under on that course, is Subin Ju. Goes by Alicia here in the States. Can she make that big jump?
And 4.5 scoring average, so you really feel like you have to make a birdie here to keep up with the field.
Amateur collegiate competition.
You can imagine they have some fun, friendly sibling rivalry going on there.
And like Mooney, he. Okay. She waits. Let's go to 13. This is Danielle Kang.
What a beauty there. Leaves it below the hole on the left side.
Well, Danielle Kang, player who reached number 2 in the Rolex rankings. He's really fallen out of form. Had a 65 last week in the second round of the ShopRite.
33 putts today on the card for Lynn, but at least can say I made one.
Celine Boutier for a closing birdie.
And this one's uphill.
So a really good save for bogey at 17.
Slightly uphill. Well, I think she liked the way she stroked that.
Yeah, it did, Kay. It just fell out of the hole on the right side. It looked like she stayed in the putt nicely. Eagle putt left short, Grant.
Yeah.
Definitely gave that one. You could tell even the second it came off the putter face, it just was never going to get to the hole. A little bit tentative there, but easy birdie.
Up ahead, the third for So-Mi Lee.
It's the last thing I like to look at right before I pull the trigger is that entry point. Almost pick a blade of grass.
It's a hole you feel like is